Let's open the meeting at 6:04. Sorry for the delay. And, I've checked out. All right, March minutes. Anybody have any? We got the March minutes, right? Yeah,
We did.
it was like the day of, I think, right?
Make
I
a
don't think I
motion-
have anything.
I didn't have any issue.
Yes. Okay.
I make a motion that the March minutes be accepted as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Moving on, Friends update. Hello, Lee. Welcome back.
Hearing greetings from the friends. So fun things going on, many art classes, watercolor classes, Zen classes, tea blending. So the past few months have been action packed. Seems like if we offer it, it fills. So those are good things in the friends world.
The Zen Dangle seemed like they had a lot of
Yeah.
people at it, huh?
Yeah, and the rock art, I don't know how that's going, but there is that.
Oh, the pebble
Orange
art?
jellyfish,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the end of the month. We're looking forward to the book sale on June 10th, tentatively, so we're gonna start gearing up to collect donations and sort and process and get things organized for that. And there's a Blue Sox game on the 11th, so the weekend of the 10th and the 11th will be happy with.
Which month?
June. Mhm. So that's.
Yeah,
pretty
we
much
sold
what
this, they sold out their 30 tickets.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah,
Sox.
quickly.
That's
Very-
Really?
Yeah.
That's a fun day.
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
weren't, Katrina and I went back and forth, we didn't wanna buy, because you had to, you were responsible whatever block you purchased.
Yeah.
So we didn't wanna shoot too high and not be able to sell them all, and we sold out very quickly, and we went to go back to get more, because they said you could, and they were sold out of that section. So, she kind of talked to me about it and the, the rest of the friends, and they opted to not get additional, because if you got additional, it would have been in a cheaper section, and I didn't want people to be, well, I would have bought the $10 tickets if I knew I didn't have to buy $17 tickets, you know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
of course, it's different types of seating, but I said, I didn't think it was a good idea to put out cheaper tickets
That's
as-
smart.
as an option, so.
Mhm.
30 people, that's pretty good, it's gonna be a
That's
good
great.
section of people.
Yeah. That's great. Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great, thanks, Lee.
Do you need help for the book sale?
You probably, well, I
Yeah.
won't be there.
You will not be
Yeah,
there?
not
What?
this- I know, run away. But I said
Who's
before.
gonna score?
That
was harsh. That was harsh. I hope Jack's available.
I did say I would please start like on the lead to.
I hope Chad's available. Chad's our only one that kind of goes through the day of.
I like to do the sort too.
The
Yeah.
day of, yeah.
So,
I am available to help that day,
Great, when is it again?
the June 10th.
June 10th, yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
I know, it's my first one.
It's okay.
I usually like it, it's fun.
It's okay.
She'll let it go this time.
Remember when we used to just do the pie sale?
Oh, I don't even get me started. We were told very explicitly some things we had to continue doing, and I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
What's the pie sale?
Yes, but, yes, but now that there isn't, they don't really go there anymore, do they? Do they
No,
go
because
by?
it used to be in front of the.
It was in front of the library, and that's, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of ended because of that, but
Yeah, well,
I remember we were given a
new
list.
sheriff's in town.
We were given a list of the events we had to keep doing. And that was one of them.
So was the holiday roll, maybe if we get rid of that pretty quickly.
Yes.
We
I
did
did
it
that,
once.
I did that the first year. Was that the only year?
I think they did it,
Long time ago.
I think they did it, we did, because we did it once when I was involved.
Oh, okay, this was before you.
And yeah, I was gonna say, I wasn't involved in the very first one.
Okay, all right, Andrew, I guess you're up.
Okay, so I'll move through this quickly because I don't want to talk about some policies. So good month overall, I think. Only one or two oddities we'll talk about, but let's see, staff, we're having our staff meeting on April 24th. We're actually gonna start talking about a garage and rectory clean out. I know when I talked to Monica, she said that we could just get a truck and like toss stuff in the truck. I don't know if we want to look at a dumpster. That may be something we can think about.
There's the stuff that's gonna go once she puts it in the truck.
A dump? I don't know. Yeah, take it over to the dump, I guess. But basically that garage back there needs to be cleaned out. I mean, it leaks, and so whatever was in there from the contractors has all just gotten wet.
I don't remember there being much in there last time I looked.
So back
Pieces of
garage,
siding and stuff. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it wasn't a
it's-
lot.
it's
But
not-
back-
it's not a ton,
yeah.
it's back garage, but then in the rectory, we have things to get rid of.
There's a lot of wood in there and stuff.
Yeah, wood, there's, yeah, I don't know.
The lights that we tried to
Yeah,
sell.
Lights that we tried to sell.
and we refused
Yeah.
to give them to what's his name?
Oh, yeah, who was that?
Oh,
They wanted them for like 50.
oh shoot, the guy that owns Shea Engineering, what's his name?
Oh, Fred Malcolm?
Yes,
Yeah,
so he offered us like a minimal amount of money, we're like, no way, we know they're worth way more than that. And we refused to sell them to him, because we were like, he's just gonna turn around and sell them for a lot of money. And then we were like, oh no, now we're stuck with them.
I think he wanted like 100, but he paid for.
Yeah,
or
it was,
something, but
yeah, and
it was
in
tough.
hindsight, we should have just given it to him.
Maybe we should throw it out there one more time for people to, anybody want these? On the buy nothing, sell nothing site?
Yeah,
I mean, the wood, if anybody wants some wood.
Scrap
That's in
wood.
decent shape, but. So we have to think about that, and then at the meeting, we're also gonna do some things like. Look at the Commonwealth catalog so that more people know how to do that. And, fulfill requests that way, and then, the CW Mars is looking at a new discovery, they call it a discovery layer, an open source system for the catalog, searching the regular OPAC CW Mars catalog. And apparently it connects to a lot of different things like novelists, and there's a lot more content. I guess it batches records together better. I don't know, I'm not gonna look anymore. So they said we needed to take a look at that before the meeting of CW Mars Users Council in May. So we'll do that. Shifts, the only thing I was gonna mention about that is the Saturday before Memorial Day will be closed. We did that for Columbus Day, and I just think it's good. If we just go ahead and close that day, I think it's typically very busy anyways. Facilities, Steve continues to be a wonderful person for fixing things. He's fixed our sink, he fixed the screen, which was falling off the wall, that could have been dangerous. Let's see, I did contact Jim about the bathroom fan that, climbs all the time in there, so when they come in for their next inspection, just take a look at it. Let's see, $330 less for the March electric bill. Yeah. So, and actually, things that we did do, seems like it maybe helped a little bit. I have a feeling there'll be maybe one more bill that's gonna be upwards of, I'm gonna bet 1,800 or so, and I think they're gonna tail off. And I think that I heard something on National Grid knocking down the cost come May or something.
Yeah, I saw something like
Yeah,
that
it's
too.
like, gee, thanks for going through those winter months though, and not doing anything about the bill that way. Picnic tables. I was actually gonna talk to the friends about this because the two tables, number one, need refinishing out there. Number two, there is one of the benches and there's, I don't know how it happened, but there's a chunk out of the middle of
It's
that bench.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's on the middle of the bench. So
Was there like a wood knot in it that just kind of came loose?
maybe, I don't
Sometimes
know.
those are, they just come
Yeah,
out.
so pretty sizable. I'm like, you can't sit
Woodpeckers?
there. Hey, look, who knows? Maybe it's possible. So anyway, they need to replace that bench on the picnic table, and then we were talking about maybe looking at another one or two. But we have to get some costs. It's the guy, I can never remember their name. They're up on
Vincent.
16. Yeah.
Vincent?
So I was wondering whether maybe like a renovation, we could go for it. refinishing, also maybe purchasing one or two. Just kidding.
Maybe he'll like your scrap one, he can
Oh,
switch.
yeah. Let's see, budgets. We're running a little high. 76.2% of the total has been spent for the year. We have 18.6 left in ops, where we should be at about 25%. So we're going kind of lean this month. Not doing as much as far as physical materials, books orders, and less on the programming end of things. Once we get into May, typically we need to spend out the rest in May or very early June because we want all the bills to clear. So I think if we just knuckle down for the next couple of weeks, we should be all right. And there's other lines too. So there's the club fund that we have, budget fund. We could open for books if we needed to. There's children's gift. There's a little bit in there for programming. So anyway, we'll figure it out. And there are some lines that are higher than last year. Like I think I mentioned supplies is around 4,400, which last year I think it was down to less than 1,000. So we have that to work for. I don't know why. It's really strange. And then contracted services has some flexibility too. So. March expenses, I'll just highlight a couple of those. The lights, $26.99. That was the February bill. As I mentioned, the April bill was $23.35. Building maintenance, most of the building maintenance costs for the month were because of that septic issue. The bigger part, which was gratefully handled by the town, but we had the septic pumped, and then Iderola was in to deal with the toilet. So that was where most of those costs came from. Books, a couple of these were higher because I think for whatever reason, the month was almost like a double up of purchases. So in with a couple of vendors, we did two invoices when we typically have one. And then we had museum pass renewals for the month for them that were costlier, I should say, more costly. Let's see. Oh, state aid. I just wanted to update everybody that the figures 72.4. I think I mentioned initially it was 76, but Mary and Brandy had been paid out for services, and we had some additional hours paid out to staff for the Monday opens. Programs. I don't know, itty bitty story time is through the roof.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that one's the most
How
popular
itty
one.
bitty are these kids?
Oh, babies. I have like 2-3 months old.
Awesome.
They're so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting like, I think when we started to do Tuesday counts, and we are doing programming counts, and it was like over 30 moms and dads and caregivers and kids each time, so.
Yep. I think I could offer that every day, and I think every day it would come up.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that one is really good. I've noticed in my fishbowl that the puppet story times are really taking off. too.
Very,
Like,
yeah.
she's getting really good crowds. Really
She
good
is getting,
numbers.
and coupling that with the coffee and conversations right before
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was a great move to do that.
Yeah.
And I just booked her for July, August, and all of next year
Oh, good.
as well. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Did we pay out already for the rest of the year for her? you
I think so.
I think that was one of those. That was a
I'm
batch
pretty
thing.
positive we did, yes.
Let's see, what else? The Meredith's first set of yoga sessions went really well this week. They're a little bit less, but the weather's just been darn nice.
Yeah.
You know, I think that comes into our numbers this week. Ellen Henry was had a huge group again. We were 35 in attendance. Conversations in German just keeps getting people.
Yeah.
They're at 13, 14 every month. Who knew? But that's why you trust them.
Yeah.
Then there's the April program schedule. Anything you want to mention about the April program schedule?
I think it's cool, Tutors with Tails is better.
We guys so fun. It is so fun. It's one dog, and I swear it fills up like that.
Yeah.
One dog, so good, and it's like she's not charging us anything. She comes out. She reached out to us, and it's just awesome.
Wow.
Awesome, yeah.
The last Monday of the trial Mondays was really good. I think everybody realized that we were not going to be
So
open
it
on
took
Mondays
5
after that. I
Mondays,
guess
yeah.
unless they can find Mondays. So 83 people
wow.
came in that day and 30 for programs. Yeah, I was actually working down here at one point and just people just coming. And I think that they just, like, I've been keeping a tab now on how many people mentioned Mondays since then. I wouldn't say that's like, there's a ton of people that have asked, but there's been some that have asked. I think we're doing a Tuesday count now, just to have a sort of comparison, baseline comparison between Mondays and Tuesdays. But the Mondays, I mean, it takes a while to generate that sort of thing, so I don't think it's gonna be as busy as Tuesdays typically are. It was a good thing to do and offer for people. So that was nice.
I know the people who did the pop-up play group were very disappointed that we weren't gonna be
Oh, really?
open, because they, I guess, other libraries in the area don't have programming on Monday.
Yeah.
It's not a day that people are programming, it's the day that families are around.
Yeah.
Even with talking to Emily from Beginning Bridges, she's saying people want things on Mondays, and it's just, they don't have enough staff over there to do things on Mondays. So either,
They're looking for
Yeah.
things. Mhm. So maybe at some point. Tara hosted for fourth grade today. with
Yeah.
classes.
the entire fourth grade from class was over.
Wow.
It was so much fun. I'm doing a book club with them in conjunction with the other teachers. So I introed 6 books and they each got to pick their top 2 and then they'll get placed in a book club. And then in the beginning of June, we'll go over and we'll have a big discussion about all the books.
That's
It was
awesome.
fun.
And
Yeah,
you're
it
going
was
to
great.
continue it in the fall, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's good to get them at that younger age where they really into the books, they're really into it, and
Absolutely.
being part of the book clubs. Like an enrichment
The,
program.
the going to a place is good too, like the fact that the NITMUG thing is the same
Yes.
sort of thing where we're actually there and
Right.
meeting with kids for the discussion.
Mhm.
Right.
Really good. And even more so, I think, even for the young adult, because it's tough.
It is. So hopefully next year we can get over to Misco too. That
Yeah.
would be ideal if we
Yeah.
can get in there as well.
Yeah.
So fingers
I
crossed.
can't see why they wouldn't allow it. you know.
Yeah,
I don't know
we
what-
talked about it, but I told her,
Did Jen?
yeah, she reached out once and I responded to her and then she never reached back out again.
I'm on that advisory
Yeah.
committee there. I'll ask her at the end of the year. what
Yeah.
thoughts are. Maybe this next year we can work on
Mhm.
getting something in place.
Yeah, especially if you grab these current fourth graders that are going there. and
Right,
you
exactly.
grab them and say, oh, yeah, I remember that, that was cool.
Absolutely.
Grow the group.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let her know how successful it was in 4th grade and you'd like to.
Yeah.
Continue it
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
absolutely. Projects, that Blue House program was really, what did I say? It's like an additional support program. And I think I mentioned it was like $774. The design program or design support program, where they actually go and they overhaul the website, and that was more than that. As it turns out, because I did get a chance to speak with Chelsea from Blue House, and that was 3,800. 3,800.
Is there a bait and switch on their part?
I don't know. I started talking to her about what we needed, and she's like, oh, well, it might be more appropriate to look at this. Because other program was really just gonna be to help us troubleshoot things, some things, and perhaps not as involved as maybe. we thought. But I'll reach out to some other libraries and see what they used, who they used, or how they went about reorganizing and redesigning their
My
sites.
school is saying is $3,800 not a lot.
I mean, maybe it isn't,
You would know more than
That's
I,
to have
because you're
mobile,
more involved in.
Right?
right? That's also to make it, mobile ready.
Right,
I have no clue
Yeah.
on costs. of this.
yeah.
So
I think
thought
it's,
maybe try to-
yeah, I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but I also think exploring other options to see what other people.
Oh,
think is
definitely.
important. And I also think we should exclude schools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before we start paying
Yeah.
people, it would be great if we could,
Maybe
if
we
they
can-
have the expertise
Yeah,
and they are interested, using our students, because that would be a lot cheaper.
Right.
And we're giving somebody in our school districts the opportunity for a really good portfolio.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Maybe we should try to reach out, I don't know, maybe by the end of this year to get it set up for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just got an email about Nipmuc having a 4-course program
Yes.
on computer science.
You're
Oh.
right. And something, I saw something about internship things. So,
Oh, okay,
Yeah, Nipmuc is pushing that right now.
okay.
so
They
if,
like Dr. Quinn might be the guy to reach out to on that. I think he's
Yeah,
in
Dr.
is it Dr.
Oh, sure.
David, I think is his.
Yeah, David is his
David
first
Quinn.
name. I think he's a doctor now,
Could be wrong.
but
You probably won't mind if you call him though.
no. No. I should look, I just got an email from him, I should look and see.
You said it's David?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did just get an email recently about the event over there. He didn't say it. Wasn't directly from him. But yeah, that,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can, I just work with them. I'll reach out to them.
I think I would start with Nipmuc and then maybe check out BBT too, see what they have as an option.
Absolutely.
I mean, not that going to other libraries
Oh,
and
yeah.
see what they do isn't a good option too, I think
Right.
that's a great idea as well. But you see what the school opportunities.
Sure.
I like that, because, you know, if they can build a portfolio and they're applying for school, that's very nice.
Really, it's somebody who has the time. and-
Right, but if they did it as kind of almost like an internship
Oh,
program and multiple kids had the opportunity to work on it,
Right,
you know what I mean? Maybe it's like
Yeah.
that's something that they work on, you know?
yeah, no, I think that's great. You know,
Yeah.
they have more time to worship to it than I think we do, so if they can and are interested, yeah,
Great idea.
let's see why not. Let's see, projects, so we're still weeding nonfiction, there's so much coming out of that collection, but it needed it, I mean, there was some very dated stuff in there. At this point, we have 45 to 50 boxes for the book sale already. Yeah. So you're not gonna need donations. No, I mean, somebody donated some things last year, but most of that is from out of the collection. And 2/3 probably is from out of the collection, a couple other people donated. But yeah, 45 or 50, I counted this the other day. Town news, we'll talk about the policy on emergency closings and some of the other policies in a bit. Doing a 5-week attendance count on Tuesdays, I told you about. That regions, oh yeah, Overdrive app. I don't know if you've dealt with this at all, Tara. Some people come in, they've had issues because they can't download ebooks.
Really?
The Overdrive app is being phased out.
Oh, there's so much to read.
People were still using that
Wow.
Overdrive app when they
Okay.
switched to Libby. We'll talk about it. This
Yeah.
meeting that I've talked here already, but I think I sent it on the email.
I think you did too, yeah, now that you say it.
So yeah, just in case you happen to be using the service and are using an Overdrive app, make sure you switch over to
Switch to Libby.
Libby. Switch to Libby.
Pairs I already have. Libby.
Okay, you've already done.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I ever
I
had.
think it's just that some people just
Yeah.
never bothered to switch it over.
Right.
And that was the director's report. As far as the budget report goes, I won't go over it too much. Areas of concern, we're at 5,500 after March in the books count. It's going to be less than that once we pay our daily subscriptions and that. It'll be probably 1,000 something remaining after this month. Programming, there's $602 left in programming, so we'll have to be. Yeah, and like I said, contracted services, there's still money in there, there's still money in supplies, the supplies line. I anticipate the lights line will be pretty well zeroed shortly. And, but then the fuel line, we will probably tap into after that. I think what else? Too much there per se. Unless anybody has any questions.
Now, the postage PO box,
Yeah,
did that go up?
yeah, I actually in the, when I did the budget for the year,
You upped it?
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
say,
upped it to
do you
250,
use
I
it
think.
much?
Oh, the PO box?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's everything. All of
Yeah.
our email goes to that. So we definitely use it.
Oh, you don't get mail delivery here?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I guess I always think about it because, I mean, it used to be close, right? You could just walk across the street.
Yeah.
It's not so close.
No, it's.
But I always usually pick it up, often pick it up on my way in from that way, so
Mhm.
too bad. But yeah, I mean, it went up to about what did I say, 226 this year.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was budgeted for 250, I think, for this next year. Because it was the first time I think. that
They're
it went-
increasing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're going on again too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 66 cents a stamp, I think,
Yeah.
or something.
It just went up 3 cents in June.
Yeah. So that's
So they're-
the budget report.
Thank you. All right, I put on-call workers on there, because I forgot to take it off from last. However, I was talking to Andrew about this, and as trustees, as long as they're not union employees, we do have, jurisdiction over hiring non-union people. This one's kind of a different
Yeah.
beast because it's not really an employee, it's more like a temp agency for,
Right.
Andrew, right?
Right.
But I was also speaking with, a senior worker who is very good, she would be very good here.
I talked to Amy about it too.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did?
And,
Okay.
that's even a better, because you actually be a cost savings for you.
Right.
And I have at least one name to give to him, and, I mean, I think they get a fair amount of hours, so you probably will never need to tap into, you know, you maybe
Next
have
time
a
we're
couple of
talking,
people.
I think we'd be all right, we'd be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I mentioned it to Amy, I just happened to
Yeah.
there, so I mentioned it to her, and she said that she's got several really good people that she's been using at the town hall. She
Okay.
thinks would be really good here, and she has not pushed it over there because she's like, I don't have enough places to put them.
Okay.
She's like, but if you guys are interested, I will put it in my newsletter this month, and I will start to canvas to try to get more people. So she was super open to it, and she would love to send them and set it up here. All you have to do is send an email.
I spoke with the one that was working in my office, and she was very interested, so.
Yeah, okay.
And she would be one that you could train quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have to
We
treat,
can get somebody.
yeah,
else
you need a
quickly.
body.
It's basically the desk and, like I said, I think the only thing is the Cory issue.
yeah, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure they're, if you give them a query form, they'll help.
Right. All right, I will, that'd be great.
And you might even be able to use that too. Mondays.
Sorry?
You might even be able to use that to have Mondays.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way to do it and there's enough, like they have enough hours to give.
Yeah, you have to have enough to spread the people out. I forgot how many hours they're allowed to work up. But it's a fair amount of hours, it's not a little, is it 100 hours?
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask her. How many hours, email. Just out of
I mean, if
curiosity.
you've got people that work,
So like, if you're talking like on Monday we have one of our staff here already. So it was really just covering for the downstairs desk, and that was what, we did 10 to 4, 6 hours. That's like, well, I mean, you get
That's 12
12
weeks.
12 weeks.
Or more.
Yeah. Even if you switch it off, you know.
Yeah, even if they only came in for 2 or 3 hours, you had 2 people come in 3 hours each.
right,
You almost get the whole year.
right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then if one of them couldn't come for some reason, you only come on 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't look like it's working out, then you can go to, well, let's look at those replacement workers, basically.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, essentially when I reached out to Shelley, Human Resources, she said, well, you have to talk to administrator.
But I don't believe that's true in this case,
Yeah,
because
that's good.
our contract, we have jurisdiction over non-contractual people.
Yeah.
So,
If we can make that work, that'd be wonderful. Yeah.
and it's not like you're asking for an additional headcount or benefits or anything. It's
No.
just gonna be replacing one paycheck for another.
Exactly.
So,
Right. So even if we hire like Flo, it's still not.
they're as needed
additional-
basis. It
It's
is
still
not,
not additional budget.
right, it's not additional budget.
And it doesn't even work, I know they don't go through our payroll, I think it just basically submit a form to Amy. Or, series of weeks.
Yes, that's
or
correct.
whatever,
Well, yeah, you just sign their
Yeah.
form, then you submit it.
So. Work, I mean, it's worked when we've done it, it's just that the people we had weren't able to keep.
Right.
Because of some limitations.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want to be choosy.
Yeah.
I mean. The one that was in my office was very good. I'd say definitely.
All right, so I'll send an email to Amy and, do you want me to mention?
Like Kathy Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, you said she had a couple.
Yeah, I don't know of other ones, but Kathy has worked in my office and she's great. And I had already broached it with her and she wanted to do it, so.
Yeah, like I said, if we weren't doing necessarily within the Mondays, but we could potentially. They just have to understand that some of this is just a matter of when we have the hour,
Right.
because somebody else late.
It won't be a consistent thing.
Right.
If somebody's out sick unexpectedly.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to say about that. All right, Andrew, you have a couple policies?
Yes, so, I sent everybody a policy on emergency closings and then just asked for feedback. And so the only thing I did in that policy, I realized there were a couple of typos. And on the second paragraph, it said to endure the safety of patrons and staff, would ensure.
Yeah, spell check won't fix that.
Yeah, no, it's not. And there, one of the email addresses needed to be changed very slightly. So that I only made because of cosmetic changes.
And I didn't see any issues.
Yeah, so lately, what had happened, obviously, is that the town made the call or whatever, and then we were not open because of the town. So just so everybody understands that it may be a situation in which, like, the town closes, but we decide not to, because that's what this basically says.
Yeah.
And if, I don't know if anybody has any issues with that.
No,
So,
it's kind of working that way.
only now,
Right.
taking advantage of the situation, like, okay, it's another snow day. No, that's not gonna happen. I mean, but I mean, it will fall to me as opposed to. just
Right,
waiting
as
for-
long as you're able to make the decision of, I mean, you have to get in there too as a
Right.
safety,
Right.
or your staff, so as long as it's, because like you said, sometimes the school calls it the night before and, maybe we really didn't have to have
Right.
a snow day, but
I
it
just don't
probably.
want pushback from the town to say, well, why were they open? Everybody else was closed. You know,
Nobody's gonna say anything.
just check.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this was really just cosmetic changes I made. There's nothing else in there that I changed the wording or anything along those lines. So I don't know if you wanted to vote on that tonight.
Sure. Take a motion?
I motion to, what's it called, the policy, emergency policy and procedures to be submitted as is with the changes that Andy made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Today is the 13th,
Add it to the book.
so I'll make sure to change the date and we'll go in binder. Very good. What else did okay. I sent everybody the policy for the selection of materials and maintenance and collection. The thing, does everybody have a copy?
I don't have it with me.
If anybody wants one, get a couple here.
Yeah.
Only 2 spots have been changed. Oh, sorry.
Not really.
2 spots that were changed. If you look on page 2 at the top. Number 16, requests from patrons to withdraw materials from the collection are to be made in writing and will be evaluated by the library director within the context of the Freedom to Read Statement and Library Bill of Rights. I changed that because it said library director and trustees before, but the form that I have in here now says that the library director will look at it and render a decision, and then if the individual doesn't like the decision, they can take it to the board of trustees.
That seems reasonable. You like director, you should be able to make those decisions.
Okay, so then it says patrons may request a copy of the request for reconsideration of library materials form from, form from the library director to fill out. That was added in. And then under 17, that I added in 17, excuse me. Patrons may request that the library purchase an item for the circulating collection by filling out a recommendation purchase form. Terminations of purchase will be made based on cost, availability, and collection development criteria described here again. And then the only other, not only other, but the other thing that was done was to add in 2 forms. One of which is a request for reconsideration of library materials. And the recommendation to purchase form. Idea is to have people actually fill out the form and understand what it is about the resource that they're not on board with.
I just saw a typo.
Oh.
Sorry, under gifts, provisions, it's just missing the end.
Oh, where is that? I'm sorry.
No,
I-
Provisio.
Oh.
Oh, it is?
I thought you were using a different word.
Is it
Where is
provisions?
Sorry. Hold
So
on.
first, it's
Page
page
two.
2.
Proviso.
Oh, provisos.
Oh, so it's supposed to be provided.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was like, oh, it must just say, supposed to say provisions. Okay. All right.
Yeah, provisos. And actually, this doesn't have to be voted on yet. If you want to take a look at it, there might be a couple of things I might want to go back and just double check the first part of this. I was thinking the idea would be everybody can take a look at it and see anything. Let me know if you feel like there's something that you add. And I thought I would go back too, because it's been, what is it? When did this one get approved? I think it was 2013 or 14, just to make sure there's nothing else that needs to be in here. There's been a lot of challenges. Everyone knows what challenges.
Here?
Not here, just, around the country. I just want to make sure this is like tied up and isn't missing anything.
Mhm.
But I thought, let's at least get it out to everybody, take a look at it. If you see anything, I'll continue to take a look and make sure it compares.
Okay,
and
we can
stuff.
put it on next month's.
Yeah, we could, that would be
So
great.
reconsideration of library materials, are these questions similar to what other libraries?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And so I looked at forms from, I can't remember how many other libraries, but the nature of,
Mhm.
in some cases, we're gonna be like. oh,
Right, of course.
Add that in. Or just, use some of the formatting. So,
Okay.
yes, yeah, there are others that the form looks similar to this. And, yeah, the recommendation to purchase form, it seemed like most seem to have that as well. So
Yeah.
it's added in because somebody may say that they'd like us to add something to the collection. In most cases, it's like a verbal thing. Somebody says, hey, listen, you have this. I'll be like, oh, gee, you really should get that, and I'll just do it. Actually, pretty informal, but, anybody have any questions about those 2 things? Okay, moving right along. I also sent, let's see. Actually, I also sent the children's librarian description. The reason I sent that is you may want to look it over based on, well, I guess I have a couple of questions. Number one is, our children's librarian is not necessarily doing some of the things that are listed here,
Mhm.
or in terms of the degree situation in that.
Mhm.
The question is, should it be tailored to the current individual in place? Or should it just be left as is? It could be tweaked. So for example, if you look at the last page, says minimum qualifications. Master's degree in library science from an ALA accredited institution, current enrollment in the accredited library science graduate program. I mean, you could say preferred.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I would say preferred because the
And,
certificate.
or equivalent experience.
Yeah, well, the certificate, yeah, I mean, the certificate, it's good that she has that and took the coursework. It's not necessarily an equivalent,
Right.
but it's helpful, certainly.
Sure.
But it's not necessarily an allowance.
But because I thought I went to their website and they would accept that as a replacement for. the
Yeah, and I
degree
think that that's
As a library director.
right,
I thought I read that there.
yeah.
I like the verbiage that Lisa had, preferred,
Preferred.
not minimum.
Yeah.
Preferred.
I mean, I know that there are other children's librarians out there that aren't necessarily
Degree at all.
degreed,
Yeah.
and some that might be working towards a degree. But I'm not sure that it's always been, I haven't looked at any children's job descriptions recently, that is like, postings.
Mhm.
But I
Well,
think
if
I've seen
somebody's
them
got
before.
20 years in it,
Right,
especially and doesn't have a degree, you're gonna wanna hire them anyway.
Right, their
Right.
experience in and of
Right.
itself is important and to me, yeah,
I agree.
20 years of experience is just as valid as
Right,
if you just are out
so we
of
should tweak that.
school. So yeah, I mean, think about it a
So
little bit. just,
definitives there.
you know, Maybe it should be like we were talking further. as opposed to-
Yeah.
The other thing is that she's doing some things that are like adult programming and that sort of thing, like, I don't know if we want to add things in that regard. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit more at the next meeting, if everybody just look it over from now on,
Okay.
Yeah, because like, when we were at the select board meeting
yes,
and discussing like the budget for portion of this, we were very clear to be not talking about the specific person that's in the current job.
Right, exactly.
That we were coming up with, like, what does this
Right.
person do? So,
it's really, I think,
but you're right,
yeah,
Tara would, I mean, there's no way around it. She does a lot more than just what a typical children's librarian
by nature of what.
by nature would handle. So, and part of it is because of the size of our staff and
Yeah.
what has to take place. So,
But
So the
that's
question
covered
is,
in
do you want?
here.
Yeah.
But it's
Some of
covered
it
in
is, I
here,
don't know if it all-
performs other duties as needed.
Yeah.
That's the blanket
Yeah, I would
statement
leave
that
that
covers
there.
all of it.
Yeah, we shouldn't make it too.
Right, because I think,
Right, right.
you know, I mean, we'd love to be here for forever and a day, but I mean, like, you have to always be thinking about, what is it that you'll want?
What do you want from the next person?
Right.
Down the road. So yeah, I mean, if you see anything that doesn't look right, and then what we'll do is, I'll obviously I did go through this, but I'll go through it again and, just finalize it, make sure that the language is the way you want it, and then we can prove that.
was there any movement or, I shouldn't say movement, but any response to after we attended that last select board meeting?
Or even the letter.
Or the letter?
I have,
I got a thank you from Brendan.
yeah, I've talked to Brendan since then.
But he didn't respond to my email as, you know.
Oh, you're talking about the, when you
I
sent the
got nothing
letter?
back in response to the email I sent, like, nothing, not even like a received. Oh.
I haven't, I haven't, I mean, I just saw Brendan in passing.
Yeah.
I didn't receive any email.
I'm just curious.
Not that, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter,
No.
but,
He might have sent an email,
Yeah, I think he might have sent you something.
yeah, like a,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I think he might have.
maybe like a thank you for, yeah, I think I talked to you about it. It was very brief. It was thank you for, I don't remember exactly what it was said, but it was a short email. I think
Just basically acknowledging
He
that.
did acknowledge it.
honestly, it didn't occur to me until right now that I never got anything back,
Yeah.
but, no.
Yeah.
I'm so used to
It was,
that.
and something
Big
about like,
day.
appreciating working with us, I think was a lot of lines of the, it was very short.
Yeah.
But he did acknowledge. I can go back and find it.
I
No, but
completely skip over
I
it.
totally get it, because you had sent it out.
So Andrew and I had talked about in the future, I don't know if he ever, whoever's doing the agendas, that maybe we keep library policies on as a permanent thing on the agendas. So as he's looking at stuff, you can always pass it over if you don't talk about it.
Because that's one of the things in the,
Yeah.
in the strategic plan was to revisit the policies.
Okay.
So we're doing that.
Right.
Great.
Keep it
Sorry.
Keep it on the agenda, it'll be fresh in your mind.
Exactly, and I think maybe the idea would be like one policy each meeting, just basically go back, revisit or. There were a couple in the past, I don't think we never came up with a policy for like posting on the bulletin boards, like if you do a bulletin board post or a public one. I just looked back and there was one other one.
Do you have a social media policy?
We have an
So-
internet policy, but not a social media.
The
Right.
Friends have a
Like
social
yours.
media
They
policy.
do, yeah.
Yeah, but you have your own page,
Yes.
so maybe you should have.
The Friends have a social media like we last year. With the happenings that happened, was it last year? I don't know when, 2 years ago.
I think
whatever.
it's 2 years ago.
We came up with a social media policy
Yeah.
for Friends, and there were some other things like that.
It might be something to start chipping away at as a new policy.
No.
Did you ever check
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
because,
Well, I mean, we're in policy terrain right now anyway. right?
Yeah.
So, and actually I went back and I looked at, the patron conduct policy is not as relevant to what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
The internet use policy,
okay.
which clearly states.
What happened?
Did you talk, about this?
I didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
Andrew talked to me, and if I had told you guys, then it would have been deliberating, so I wasn't gonna do
Right,
it.
right.
Pick the right meeting. We just gonna.
All right.
Not until next meeting. No, did you want to?
Well, you received the correspondence, so
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna let you start off.
I have two different email accounts. One is the account for here and then the CW Mars email account. I check it like once a week. And most of the time it's CW Mars related to users council meetings, very general stuff, maybe some things from CW Mars, policy changes, that sort of thing. So, it wasn't last week Friday, it was the Friday before. I checked it and I'm like, what is this? And it turns out, we have a meeting here. Hi, Andrew. One of my staff is a member of the Uniquely Uxbridge Facebook. She told me that a person made a post there. Oh, sorry, that there was a person in your library on Saturday watching porn on one of the library's computers, and they asked the staff person to make him stop. The library staff person told the requester that they let people watch, do whatever they want on the computers, don't mind.
No way, someone.
Did you imagine that happening?
No.
No way.
Apparently, a bunch of comments said that the library staff person should be arrested, and the library should be in trouble with the police. I assume maybe you already heard about this. I haven't, but I thought I'd send a note in case this is the sort of thing that leaves a closed Facebook group and becomes a real issue for Taft and maybe other libraries in the area. So it's a private Facebook, and there's 3 uniquely Uxbridge groups. 2 is public, yeah, at least 2 public and 1 that's private. Apparently this was in private. So I tried to get a hold of her that day. I said, well, thank you for letting me know. I will check with the staff and find out what happened that Saturday.
Who works on Saturday? Annie? No.
I I somebody did because I talked to Jen and actually, almost everybody works on Saturdays at some point. And Jen and Brenda were in on that Saturday. And it was April 1st. I was like, it's April 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I
yeah.
don't know. But so I talked to Jen and Brenda, they're like, we had nobody come up to us. And they would have remembered, and everybody, I talked to everybody on the staff.
So there's a lot of Taft stuff in Uxbridge. I was very saying,
Yeah.
I
They
wonder-
lost it, and they
yeah.
thought it was Uxbridge's
yeah,
public
and maybe it
library.
happened there.
Well, yeah,
not
so there's
here.
certain things that have happened since then on.
Okay.
But, so I finally got in touch with her on Monday this week. And it was their children's librarian, who's a member of these groups. And she said, well, after story time, she'll give me a call. So she gave me a call. And she said that it was, number one, it was very vague. Whatever was written on there was very vague. And then there were all of these comments and this person never replied again. It's like they popped it up there and boom, it's just.
Yeah,
the floodgates.
let's let it go.
You know,
Stir the pot.
So, they said, you know, was this on the Saturday? She said that she didn't think it was necessarily that Saturday, it could have been another time. So I went, okay, well, make sure when you talk to the staff now, that it's not just talking about the Saturday, but maybe Saturdays before, maybe other days before. And I know that the staff will occasionally discuss stuff with, you know, people who come in, I mean, it happens. But none of us remembers anything specifically where somebody's sitting there looking at something like that. And this person came up and said, that makes me uncomfortable. And we wouldn't have gone over to say, you can't do it again.
None of these computers are in a place that's.
Private.
Yeah, for, I
So
mean,
the
the
person on the
person
desk can see it.
The
Right, I
only
mean, unless
ones
somebody
are
brought their
upstairs.
laptop in, but even then, she said it was a library computer, it wasn't like a laptop. And right now, the only ones we seem to really have open at any given time are two of those over on the side. And we know who's in, I did check the history.
Yeah.
the Same day, I couldn't find it.
Right, I said, well,
Check the histories, so I. went
somebody
back
was on there,
checked
it'd be on the
histories.
history of the computer.
All three of those, we haven't used any on this side in the longest time. Just because we've been doing some weeding and that.
Yeah.
So you only really needed the three on this side.
Speediest things either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually.
You could put up a firewall.
Yeah,
And that probably should be a firewall
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I mean, you
I'm
got kids.
surprised it's not, to be honest.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
We had, we used to have a thing called deep freeze, and that would reset the computer every night, but it used to slow everything else so much. So I think we need to revisit it. And I've never, I've worked on it, I've never seen anybody doing that sort of thing. So,
and the ones upstairs in the
Yeah.
periodicals area, those aren't turned on, right? No one uses those that face the bathroom. They were
every
just-
so often somebody uses it, but
They were
the
just
one
for
thing is,
catalog,
one of
right?
them was, yeah, they're just for the catalog.
And they don't have access to the internet. You can't like click
I
on.
mean, unless somebody circumvented it, I've never.
No, I mean, we strictly set them up for
Yeah,
catalog, so.
it's fourth time.
Because that would be if you're gonna do something with that, if I walked in this library and I wanted to do something like that,
Right.
those are the only inconspicuous computers that I would
Right.
use
Sure.
it.
But then
Yeah.
you still have the person complained to somebody
Right.
supposedly.
Right,
They didn't.
now, of course, if somebody had complained, right? I would have expected, the first thing is like, why don't you come back to and ask for the library director, right?
Right, but if someone had complained
Yeah.
to one of your staff would have let you know.
They would not have said, we let them do whatever they
They would
want.
never, and they would never not have told me that something.
Right.
So, and if it was a while back, this person then chose to like wait for weeks or months, I mean, I don't,
People
no,
just
nobody
make
remembers.
stuff up.
I know.
Yeah.
So
this
this
stuff
test,
up.
the smell test.
Yeah.
No,
I know, it's weird.
but it was incumbent upon Andrew to at least do his due diligence about it,
Yeah.
in case it does come back.
So, when I talked to the children's librarian over there, before she had called me, she had gone back and tried to find it. She couldn't find it. Dan Byer, I think, has.
I asked him.
So, yeah, the
Yeah.
Uxbridge page is
He's got all the pages
Yeah,
and
he
he
couldn't
couldn't find it.
either, so somebody pulled it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, Dan can't find it, it's not there.
Well, and Dan clearly didn't, so I don't know, maybe.
No, he
maybe
said
it
if
was-
they had that much traction,
Yeah.
I should have seen it, and he didn't, he said.
Yeah,
"I
maybe it
didn't
was
see
a one-day thing or something. I don't know. So, like I said, I couldn't substantiate any of it. We'll go over the internet use policy. We don't have to go over, but I wanted to give this out to everybody so that you know what our policy is going forward. And I have the patron conduct policy, which really doesn't address it nearly as much as the internet use policy. I can make one for you.
No, that's okay.
Copy with the patron one also. And this is just to look, if you do see anything in these too, you're like, well,
Yeah.
really, we need to add something to this.
Are all your policies on the website?
Well, see, this is the issue. We don't have policies up on the website, but the collection development policy, MDLC has been calling around to libraries and asking because they're very concerned about the challenges.
I think you should have a section.
So she said, definitely get that onto your website.
Mhm.
So that way, when we go over it in May and hopefully approve it, I'll pop it right up on the website and have like policy collection. or something.
Yeah.
People can pull that up whenever. And you're right, I mean, the internet use policy should be on there.
Yeah,
Patron
absolutely.
conduct Policy should be on there.
Mhm.
It's
not.
I'm also breaking
I got one on there.
It's not,
But this is your own computer.
that's true, that's true.
Oh, so last thing I'll mention about this,
Okay.
this situation was, I did,
Good night.
yes, that's great.
Night.
Is I did reach out to the town administrator, yesterday. Yeah, but she said she was in health, and that she would give me a call today.
I was busy.
So, I tried. And just to give a heads up, in case.
Well, no,
somebody
like,
should, you know.
somebody on the select board knows, so.
Right.
Sorry, I was reading it, so.
Well,
You can only do one thing.
I reached out to Kim, yesterday, I texted her to say, when you have a moment, if you can give me a call, somebody I'm gonna pass by you. And then she said that she was off, but she would give me a call today, which is today,
Okay.
but I didn't. About the
The incident.
incident.
Oh,
I just want to give
The
somebody.
incident that didn't.
I just wanted to give her a.
So,
A heads up.
You guys have been alerted
okay, yes.
In case it gets it.
in case something, some
Yes.
crazy person comes in.
I mean, even if somebody ever had a misunderstanding or they took something the wrong way, I would think the best of them for them to come back and say, I don't understand why this happened this way and give an excuse.
Well, some people, their sole job is to mix stuff up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're doing appropriate steps.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
reviewing policies.
We'll go over both the internet use policy and the patron conduct
And no
policy.
children were harmed in this.
No, not at all. I don't know, strange. So, there you go.
Is there a smaller version of this? I mean, this policy should be official the way it is and, you know, whatever, we'll review it. But is there a smaller version of the policy that should be like posted on the wall about the computers?
You mean the internet use policy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, not a full policy, but like,
We used to have,
Actually, it's really
yeah,
only one page.
near the sign in, near the sign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is only
It's
one
only
page.
one
That
page.
could just, you could just stick that over there.
Yeah, we could just.
Electronic disclaimer.
put it in
Yeah, I was
the-
gonna say, like, use of this computer, like,
Right.
you're- by using this computer, you're agreeing to the.
Internet use.
oh, that's right, perfect, yeah.
We'll put a sign, and then. the
Yeah, that's
use
perfect,
policy, what I'll
because I
do
need
is-
Because
then,
then it's like they say, but
Yeah.
by using it, you're agreeing to the.
yeah,
policy.
and they're signing in to use the computer, correct? They're
Yep,
signing in
they
at the desk.
Yep,
You
down
can
here.
put it right on the sign-in,
Right,
by signing as you were agreeing,
yeah, you can do that too.
the libraries have a link.
Right.
to it, Yeah,
Yeah.
or you could even just put a copy on the clipboard they sign in on, it's behind it, if they wanna look at it, there it is.
Actually, you could do both, so by signing this, and then the
Yeah.
poster on the wall by using this computer, you are complying with.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
and then,
it's,
what I was
nothing
thinking
else
is,
covers your basics,
Yeah,
you know,
and then pull this and just put it in a plexi and
Mhm.
have it at the sign up, basically.
yeah,
The fact that we don't have, a firewall, we're kind of not
Yeah.
following our own thing.
Right.
Children should not have access to material harmful to minors. That means obscene
Yeah,
materials.
let me talk to, Lonnie about having something set up.
and I'm assuming that person that supposedly made this complaint was alluding to the fact that it happened in this area as opposed to up in the children's.
Okay, so the
correct?
children's computers, we haven't had up and
Running, okay,
usable.
okay. That's fine.
During COVID, we didn't have it used at all because it was
Right.
complicated. So, we had pulled the keyboards on those. We actually haven't put the keyboards back. It probably-
Okay.
Nobody has asked us for use of those, so we just hadn't,
That's fine.
just kind of let it go for the moment. But yeah, I mean, if we did, we'd certainly want to have some different sort of firewall.
Yeah.
As well. And that we can do at some point. But no, nobody would have been using those.
No,
No.
No, that's fine, as
The
long as
only
we,
ones upstairs used currently are the.
okay,
The standing.
Yeah.
And so we're not them. All of it. So, yeah, so that's it. Funny names.
I think, it's will be good for the two new members
Oh,
to
absolutely.
be involved in this policy review. You know, it'll get them familiar with.
Yeah, so I mean, anything you see here too, that you're like, well, we should be having this in there. This doesn't need to be here. Let me know. Tighten up the existing policies and then also. Social media.
Yeah. So that was that excitement.
Fun.
Yeah.
Just annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing on here is reorganization of the board. As you know, Wayne and I will no longer be with. So that means there's the lovely chair and vice chair and secretary positions. That's typically what we wrote for this board. And Sean is conveniently not here. Usually you give everything to the person you want. So anyway, you really don't want to put that upon the new people, so it makes most sense to reorganize before the election. So, okay, so who is it that we're nominating for chair?
I nominate Lisa Michael as chair of the library trustees.
I second.
So, all in favor? Congratulations, Lisa.
Now, this is where you take over the job right now. You're on.
So Lisa, who are you nominating for vice chair?
I guess I go into wrong. No, we sort of, so Allison and I kind of went back and forth today quickly, so you tell me what your preference is.
I would prefer to be the secretary.
Okay,
I think
absolutely.
you guys just work so well together from your time with the friends. I think you make a great team. Not that the secretary isn't involved, but I feel like
The secretary has more work, I can tell you.
that's okay.
Right, Wayne?
That's fine, but policy procedures, new ideas, you guys are way ahead of me on that front, so. If that's okay with you,
It's fine with me. I just didn't want to take it if you were,
No.
if it was something you were interested in.
I think
Okay.
you would do a much better.
Okay, well
So
then
is
I
that an
nominate,
official, yeah, I was gonna say.
nominate Gabe for
Second.
vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
And I nominate Allison as secretary.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
I hold that in.
Congratulations. So the next meeting, Allison, you will be doing the minutes. You will send me the agenda.
Yep,
I'll send you
some notes for.
Yeah, I have a template if you want it.
Okay. Is there a folder, like a trustees folder in OneDrive?
It's on the T drive, but I can, oh, it probably isn't. It's probably on the top, so.
Because you sent the letterhead the other day, and I was like, there's gotta be a repository of all this stuff somewhere, and
Yeah.
I don't know where that is.
because Amy probably had her own stuff too.
I don't know.
I wonder if I can make a shared folder on the TOM, the town amended in SharePoint, to put the trustee stuff in there. Because all your agendas are up there, like I have a folder. That might be just under me though, you guys can't access all, because I keep the folder with all the agendas for the full year. Let me see what I can do on the share drive.
Okay.
Actually, you guys don't have access to the drives though.
No.
But if you have
Yeah,
if you have a link to SharePoint, you would have access to it.
As the friends, we always just did Google Drive and we shared it with each other. you know,
Yeah,
as friends.
well, you
There's
can do
a
that.
OneDrive. There's a
Yeah, we have
we
OneDrive.
could
We did
create
it
a
with the
folder.
OneDrive.
Yeah,
yeah.
we can, and I can dump all my trustee stuff into the OneDrive.
So do you want me to create one? Should I put
Sure.
that on the desk?
Put that as your-
And then I'll send it to you so you can
Yeah.
dump everything into it.
I'll dump what I can into it,
Okay.
and, because my town clerk stuff is not the trustees.
I was gonna say, we don't need that.
No, we don't want that.
You don't want that responsibility. I mean, I do have trustee stuff and my clerk stuff, but I think it's probably still my trustee stuff.
Are there people running for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so,
gonna ask that
so
too.
today was the last day to withdraw, and,
Oh, today was the last day to withdraw.
yes. Two people withdrew today.
Oh,
One select board candidate and one planning board candidate
Really?
withdrew. Yeah. It was a little shocking. But, so yeah, so we have two candidates for the two positions. One will be James Thatch, and the other will be Howard Phipps III. And I never did send an email to tell them to come to this meeting beforehand. Maybe the May
The
meeting.
May would be.
It'd be good for them to meet
Yeah.
the board, and they've got nobody running against them, so
Okay,
they'll
so,
both be.
okay.
And neither one withdrew. Yeah, it's good.
have you met them? Or
James came in and sat with me for probably a half an hour before he pulled papers. Howard, I met when he pulled papers. He's quite a young man. So hopefully you guys can bring him out of his shell. I think it'll be good.
You said you texted.
Yeah, I did text him. And because we were having trouble with our email.
Oh, yeah.
And still, I got some stuff kicked back today.
On numerous
It's a new problem.
emails aren't going through.
See, it's like it's back again.
Yeah.
So my vendor for ballots sent me an email saying, can you tell me what you want on this? I replied to that email and got kicked back as spam.
Yeah.
Ours is spam. So our domain is being treated as spam by Google Suites or somebody's messing with us. I don't know. But we thought it was gone away. I wasn't able to email anybody with a Gmail account. Well, half the candidates have Gmail account. So I was trying to give them an update, and then I had to text them all and say, can you check your Gmail and look in your spam folders? And they all found it in the spam folder. But they wouldn't have known to look for that.
No.
And, but that's,
didn't- I
Howard
didn't-
responded right away. He goes, yes, it's here. Thank you very much. And so, yeah, I think it's nice that you got a young person, hopefully, that's active.
So can you give us their email?
And he friended the Taft page, by the way, too, the Taft page.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Good.
We can reach out to them to invite them to our next meeting?
That's a great
is that
idea.
Appropriate?
Yep, it's appropriate. And candidate night is May 8th. Hopefully they go to that too and talk a little bit. Most people go to candidate night just to listen about select board usually, or any other race that might be.
Are there really any big races this year?
Well, there was a planning board race until today.
Well, but there isn't even a select board race anymore,
Yes.
right?
Yes, there is.
Is
There's
there?
still three
Oh, there's
candidates.
still three, okay.
Yeah, there's still three candidates.
And what about school committee?
No race.
Okay.
No, which kind of surprised me after last year,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
It really surprised me that nobody carried their convictions into the next year. There's a lot of work though.
Mhm.
Seeing what you did, how many meetings you guys go to? That's not for the faint of heart. I wouldn't do it. All right, so that is it. Does anybody else have anything?
Should we determine the next meeting?
Yes, I think May was okay, right?
May is fine.
So it's the week
Oh,
before the
yeah.
election.
Yeah, I did want to mention June too, because June I'm away,
Oops, that's not,
during the book sale, of course, but then
So
also.
May 11th.
I think it's May 11th.
I mean, 12th is the junior.
Yeah, prom's a
Yeah, the
a
11th.
week later this year, which was great, because now town meeting is right on prom day.
Yes.
Now people make up a different excuse not to go.
When's the election?
16th.
May.
We're doing May 11th. Wait,
May 11th is trustees meeting. And it's a few days before the election.
So the election is.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a brief mention that I'm away the second Thursday in June. So I don't know.
That's not
I know.
You got- you have a new
Another
board,
charge.
like, it's not gonna.
You're
You're away that,
Not me.
You're away that whole week?
Yeah, I'm away through, I'll be back on the 12th.
Okay.
The 15th is the Footnotes Book Club. I don't know if there's another night that would work. And I can always move the footnotes too. This is June.
Are you gonna live stream the candidates night?
Yes.
I don't want to do the 22nd.
No, it's too close to the end of the school year. Is it the last day?
No, it's just my birthday.
Oh.
Being very selfish here.
It must be that day. My girlfriend's birthday is also on that day. And she lets everybody know the whole month and her birthday's.
What about the
When is the
21st?
last day of school?
The 20th for Mendon Upton.
We do the 21st, Wednesday.
Yeah, that's good with me.
I just like to have an implant of mine. We'll get the 12th. That'll be fun.
So we're talking about the 21st?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then,
What do the trustees typically do for the summer? Like other friends?
usually there's a month off in there, right?
I want to say we usually do that last
We do
Last year
July,
we took
August.
July off or?
August. I thought it was August. Maybe it was July.
Usually one of them.
So that,
I'm away.
there is a select board meeting on the 21st. So that doesn't, I don't have to join you, but I have to be there. Then, like, now,
Wednesday.
the select board is doing first and third.
Yeah, it's first and
So
third.
like, there is not, it could be canceled, but like. everybody's-
That's right after the election. I'm dead.
No, the.
June 21st.
June.
Yeah, yeah.
Last year, there was no meeting in July.
No meeting in July.
Perfect. Right, June of 2022 and then. August
Usually
of
we do.
2022.
No July, no December.
Okay.
A lot of times because Santa.
Did we do it in August last year? We did do it in August, right?
We did, because we had to do something, and that's why we met in August. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was.
We met Tuesday, August 16th.
Okay.
So, got a motion to adjourn?
Very organized.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
You've been keeping it since you.
I'll second my own. I'll second your motion.
I gotta go pack.
You've been made,
Right.
board made.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
All right, so we decided on May 11th is the next one, and June 21st.
Thank you.
I motion to adjourn.
It's already done. Done.
Oh, really?
I'll tell the president.
Chair. That doesn't make any sense.
So watch for my postings. from Gatlinburg.
Yes, I saw. Are you leaving tomorrow?
4 AM.
Oh.